Alright guys, before this video starts, I just want to go ahead and preface something really quickly. I did do this last year. It's the same series, the same layout. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. I'm not going to do exactly how it was. I'm going to try to tweak some things a little bit, make it a little bit easier to understand. But before I get into any of the maps or anything that I do personally, I want you guys to take this as an adaptation to your gameplay, not necessarily a copy and paste. So if you play a certain way and you see something how I play, you might want to bring that into your own gameplay. This isn't by any means just taking my gameplay and just making it yours. So like I said, go through the video, find bits and pieces that you think will suit your play style a little bit better or might make you a better player, and put that in your own gameplay. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, how's it going, guys? The first installment of the Infinite Warfare Anchoring series. I'm going to go ahead and start on Breakout because it's the first map. So, off the break, as everybody that watches my channel, my stream, or anybody that follows competitive Call of Duty knows, that the first hill on this map was changed from the bottom of the middle area of the map to the top, which I think is a drastic improvement on this map, because before you could basically eliminate loading, which is this area of the map right over here. You can see through the windows, but you can't shoot through them actually. So like this part of the map was essentially useless unless you got into a spawn trap P3. Which is what my team calls that. Callouts in this game are still a little shaky. There's a lot of different things for different areas of the map, so try to follow along as best as you guys can. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. So the first hardpoint got moved, which this is a huge buff to players like me or anybody that really enjoys more of a post-up play style. But on the first hill of this map, I feel like the way to play it was actually just to flood and play strictly from the hill, because there had to come from two ways, right? So like as an AR player, like being inside the hill kind of not necessarily screwed me over, but it made me uncomfortable in how I played. But with the change for this, both of the windows are now viable, which before they were completely useless. Loading is huge because you can pick players from inside loading on top of the hill from both shower doors. So you can pick the player on this side, and then you can also pick the player on this side from both doors. So like it changes up your break offs. Like players can send people straight to the wall run off the break of the map instead of just like forward hitting the middle. The playstyle that I prefer on this hill is strictly more so the windows and playing for the other side of the map. The spawns on this map or on this hill can get a little fluky, so you can get some splits. Say like they're blocking P3 and cave spawns, you're gonna spawn inside loading, and then that gives you like the perfect opportunity to come in here and break the hill. But you have to be wary because you're gonna be on both sides. Don't be afraid to take long routes too. I'm just gonna like quick bulletin points what can mostly apply to every hill. You're gonna spawn deep on this hill. This map is very, very punishing if you don't get a good setup. So you can spawn like back here, back P3, and then don't be afraid to take a long route, guys. It goes for both sides. Now, I wouldn't do this if there's like 20 seconds left or 30 seconds left, because then you're going to spawn your team out, and then the rotation you're going to get screwed on, because you're going to have to basically re-hit through all the way through P3 or go to the wall run, but at that point they're going to be set up already. So don't be afraid to take a long run if you're spawning P3, but don't do it if there's like half the hill remaining. That's not really a good play. If you're spawning cave, go around, people. I'm telling you right now, go around P3. If you're spawning 25, 30 seconds left, it is worth the time. Like flank P3, go all the way around, win that gunfight, get your team those spawns. If it's the beginning of the hill and you just want to play straight up kills, you can play your windows with an NV4, push up in the loading, K-bar, or any gun really. Or you can be on the hill. The hill is not a bad play at all, really. Or if I'm on the hill, I like to get a spawn trap going from loading. There are a couple lines of sight that are really good spawn traps for P3. There's like float piece, you can sit right here and see them coming down P3. Now, I'm sorry if I'm like rambling on a little bit. I want to try to make this series a little bit more in-depth than I would before, because like in Black Ops 3, I kind of just told you guys where to sit and what to pre-aim. But I want to explain the methodology on most things on this hill. So, bulletin points to go over for this hill. 1, if you spawn cave with about half the hill left, flank P3, get your team spawns. If you spawn this side with half the hill left, do not flank. Hold P3, hold the back, because they're going to be hitting early wall runs to hit the rotation. Now, a rotation from first to second hill. If you didn't flank cave and you say you wanted to get that like the last scrap time because it's middle hill, why not, right? So you're fighting through middle map. Going top laundry, which is what this room is called for our team, like I said, it can be anything. Going top laundry here is a good play because players like to sit in corners in the hill that you can actually see from here. You might like come down here, but you have to be wary of the truck. But you're actually blocked mostly from this, so you can see these corners. Players of my playstyle like this heady in the back. This is actually a really, really good spot. Because it's hard to, because you can't wallbang this at all, and it's really hard to pick players that are set up here with a K-bar and NV4, things like that. But if you're the team that is trying to be broken, so you have the hill, you have to be worried about your P3 pinch, because that's really the play that most teams have, unless they, like, you got a fresh 4 dead, then they're going to spawn deep wall run, like the last hill of the game. They're going to spawn all the way back there. But I'll move into the hill later. So, say you're set up. All you have to worry about right now is side door and your P3 pinch. Your teammates are going to be communicating, or should be rather, on what you need to watch there. Going top laundry on this hill is also a really, really good play if you got the early rotation, because you can see all of middle map say that they're getting the scrap time and you're the one that rotated early. You can kill them coming through middle map, and then you can basically ensure your team, unless there's like one sneaker going around P3, that they're all going to be loading. Now, if your team is set up in the hill, one person in the back to hold middle map and side door, someone in the hill, and then you can push out the wall run, because before you would spawn inside loading, which you can still do, but it's not as prevalent as it was before. So you can actually push out the wall run and spawn trap them when they spawn on the other side of the platform, which will then spawn them there again, and it's just like a continuous process. The thing about this hill is, when you kill them, say there's like half the hill left, or like 25 seconds, and they spawn there, they're going to get the rotation to cave. So the player in the back, which is usually me, or whoever's back there on your team, you have to communicate that, because when they spawn out cave, they're going to be rotating way, way early. So they're going to be pushed up in med, which is what we call this building. They're going to be pushed up in med on the tractor headies and cave headies and things like that. So it's really a huge rotational gunfight when you spawn on where the hill is currently. I think it's back there. Yeah. Where the hill is currently. If you spawn there, rotate, guys. Do not fight this hill. It's like 1 or 2 pushes and then you're done, because the spawns are so punishing. So when you spawn in the last hill, 25, 30 seconds left, rotate. Trust me. This game is all about rotation. AW and Black Ops 3 are more of a flood playstyle, but this entire game is like Grandma's Hill on Fringe. It's just rotations and setups. You get 1 or 2 breaks and then you're screwed pretty much. So this hill is a money hill. It's so easy to hold if you play it right. The way that my team plays it is we prefer cave spawns, because it's easy headies to just pick players. Most players like to jump peek with something like propulsion, or without it, they jump peek over the wall run. They'll just crouch here and watch it. Players will try to pick you from med, which you don't even need to look at. Like, if you have someone on the hill just like crouch preeming, or like laying down in this close corner, which is actually a really good play too, you crouch here. Like you literally don't need to peek yourself for med to get exposed. You can just sit here, or like you can just shoulder peek it. Don't die, because if you die here, that's the other team's cue to literally just flood over the hill, challenge this kid on tractor, and break you guys out. But the thing about cave spawns on this map is, if you want them, it's good if you're there first. It's bad if you're not there first, because you're going to spawn out way back here, and at that point you can't go around, because you don't want P3 spawns, because the next hill is there. You have to push through cave, because like there's no other way to go really. But at that point, when you're pushing through cave, you're kind of screwing yourself, because the headies in here to spawn trap you guys in the back are brutal. It's really hard to break, because they can push up on the right side of the cave, catch you off guard. They can post up on the tractor heady. They can sit in med even. Like, just there's so many ways that you can get punished in this game for like quick, small mistakes. I'm gonna go through this hill one more time, just because I know I talked a lot, but bullet points on this hill. 1, if you spawn out on the second hill, rotate early to cave. You can either hold it, or like if your teammate wants to get pushed up in med window is not a bad spot at all on this side. Get in the hill, just hold a secure spawn, because like you can even do it from med. It's not a bad play to do it from med, but it's just whatever team can push further. It's like tug of war really. If you can push further and push them out cave spawns, that's really, really good. Or if you can push them deep P3, that's good as well. It's just whichever team gets those initial kills and pushes you out the furthest is going to end up winning this hill, because it's really hard to break once you get those spawns. Alright, now the rotation off of this hill coming through cave. Now, if you got pushed out of cave and you want this money hill, last hill can be a money hill if you hold it really well. So you're going to hold these spawns. This is my job most of the time. I'm going to be back helipad playing the rotational kills off of cave. So my job is really, my teammates will be in the hill holding wall runs, things like that. I might have somebody middle. I might be middle, switching back and forth. It's not really one dedicated job. So I'm going to be holding the rotational kills off of cave. I might be top window. Top window is a really good play, because they spawn P3 and they spawn second hard point on this hill. So this is a really punishing hill. It's just like the second hill. So they're going to spawn second hill, and they're going to be coming through middle and loading. Or the kids off old are going to play it slow to try to kill you out of the back to get their team spawns. Your most important job on this map is do not die in the back. That goes for every single hill. If that gunfight happens cave and you lose it, that gives their entire team a push through the back, and that can actually spawn them there even if you have people on the hill. So that means you have to worry about middle map and the cave rotation. And then your teammates, like holding hill for loading isn't difficult at all. You can like there's so many ways to hold this hill. Just from like preeming inside of the hill, you can like jump peek it like this, play the headies, lay down close. And there's actually a thing about this map that some of you guys may not know, is you can lower wall run all of this. So like you can lower wall run everything to go all the way around if you wanted to. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I'm sure some of you did. But you can go all the way around the lower wall runs. Try to get a break in the back. You can go around L. And then if they have control of the hill, but you say like you're playing a hero play in the back, like holding it I think is the better play. If you can time up a push with your team, say they're coming through loading, and you can get a nice back L pinch, that'd be good too. But you know, it's more of a situational thing. So bullet points one more time for you guys going through this map. Hill number 1, the break off, all you want to do is play kills. There's nowhere on the map that you want to try to get at the beginning, really. It's just play for kills. My break off is top window on both sides. It rarely changes because I run an NV4 on this map. So top windows, you can push up into loading if you get those kills, like a tug of war type thing that I mentioned in the 4th hill. Just pushing their team back. They're going to spawn cave. At that point, you do have to worry about P3, but like I said, if your team's communication is going well, it wouldn't be an issue. So that's first hill. Play kills off the break. As the hill starts to wind down, if you spawn out, rotate P3. If you're holding P3, we have to worry about the pinch through cave and the early push through the wall runs if someone's rotating early that way. Getting into second hill, still worry about the rotation through P3. I can go all the way around. The early rotation through loading to the wall runs. They can wall run all the way around the back as well. If you're holding, top laundry is a good play. That blocks the middle spawns, and that's really easy pickings because you're on a head glitch, and then that forces their spawn out, but at the same time you have to worry about the P3 pinch. And then once they spawn out, it depends on what your team is doing. If they say they need help, you know, if they call it 3 or 4 wall run, you want to rotate, help them out in the hill, or you can just hold, you know, whichever you want to do. It depends on your team's callouts. As the hill is going to start to wind down, if you win the entire thing, their team is going to spawn out the other side of the wall run. They're going to rotate through cave to next with about 20-25 seconds left. At that point, you can either A, reflank cave, which is the better play in my opinion, through middle map, or chase them off the wall run, which is what I like to do. Or you can rotate around med, which is a really hard series of gunfights, but if you win it, it's good because those cave spawns are really, really bad if you get them pushed all the way back. 4th hill, like I mentioned the tug of war thing, just the first team to push their spawns the furthest they can get is going to win this hill, really, unless there's like camo, kinetic, something like that involved. Because once you get those spawns out, it's brutal, man. The cave headies are really bad. And if they spawn P3, there's really not a good play either because they're going to either reflank cave, which takes 20 seconds, or they're going to have to try to fight you guys, but the headies on this map are really good. Rotation from 4th to 5th hill. If you win this hill, you're going to fight through the back, kill the kid helipad, get your team spawns. If you're holding, you're going to want to kill this kid who's trying to play for spawns, really, and then worry about middle map and cave. Your team will get the hill. Unless they die, rotate in, pick up wall runs, your team will get this side. So, thank you guys for watching. If I rambled on too much, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to, I have a lot of thoughts in my head, and I really don't know the best way to convey them, so I just, say it all. As the series goes on, you know, tell me in the comments what you guys want me to emphasize on, things like that. This map is more about information, more so than spots. But, nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. I will make sure to read the comments for any constructive criticisms and things like that. Have a good rest of your day, guys.